Okay, so I'm driving. I live in Los Angeles. Um, so, yeah, I'm driving not on the interstate but in town. I'm not going to say where in Los Angeles, but that's all you need to know. So, I've lived here for the last year. Um, Excuse my music. And there's confirmation of needing to stop for this, I guess, instead of having all I see is green lights. I can stop for a second. No, I can actually edit that, maybe. Or not. I'm a kind of just raw, send it out. I don't take more than one take, because what I have to say is real. If you don't like the way that I say things, I'm sorry. If my voice is annoying, or if I just get a little bit too passionate, you might say. It's just hard for me sometimes to control that. Um, when I know what I know, and that fire inside me is from God, and it's hard to not want to awaken other souls to the truth or many truths that you get not just from the Bible, but actually by walking in faith and obeying God's laws. When you obey God's laws, then that honors Him. So He will honor you. You can have rewards on earth, and it doesn't have to be from greedy things. It's by the means just like Jesus would go about doing things. So that's saying, what would Jesus do? Shouldn't just be something that people put on t-shirts or say as a saying, and then that's it. Like, it's just any other saying. Because if it's just any other saying, that's like saying, what would Gandhi do? He was a Buddhist, and he was a humanitarian, and he did hunger strikes and other things, right? Where he had beliefs, and he did all these things in protest, and decided, he wanted to do those things, right? But no one is sitting there talking negatively about Gandhi when he wanted to live this enlightened life and talked about these things. These Eastern medicine, these Eastern modalities from Asian countries and stuff, right? That's where, not Western medicine stuff, Western modality, Western religions, not Western religions, right? Because I think these, whatever is going on here in the Western parts of the world, just some crazy stuff. We have allowed our medical institutions and American Heart Association, all these other companies that are supposed to be for our health here in America, um, we've allowed them basically to lie over and over to everyone. Like the food pyramid, all the advice that doctors are giving, it's all pre-programmed stuff that they're scripted to tell people on what is the proper diet. And they barely tell people now to exercise, but they're willing for money tell people to take a bunch of pills for all their problems, because the pharmacies and the pharmaceutical companies, everything, they need, they keep coming up like the drug dealers they are to the doctors and keep suggesting these new pills. And they'll say, oh, well, there's only this side effect and a 1 in a million or whatever fake statistics or whatever that lets the doctor decide, okay, I'll do business with you. I'll throw away all ethics and do no harm oaths that I said I would when I practiced medicine, when I want to do practice medicine. All that is out the window when they start getting greedy. Then it is all harm on everyone for your dollar. All you doctors, if you're not actually practicing medicine in the way that it should be, more about curing things, not just treating symptoms. Let's deep dive on why somebody's getting sick in the first place. You know, think outside the box a little bit. Because not everyone had the means, or not just money wise, or the education maybe to get a scholarship or whatever it was. Not everyone has the opportunity to get the education that is required to become a doctor or to get themselves into the knowledge that I have, like doctors. A lot of everything I know is literally, I've gone to school. I was a massage therapist. That is one thing that I have gone to school for. I've studied Reiki and energy healing, all kinds of things. Herbal medicine. I believe that homeopathic medicine and Reiki healing, all that stuff, right? That is what is beneficial to us the most. And using food as nourishment, real vitamins and nutrients, and everything that our gut and everything that our body was designed to have. All of that stuff that brings us into a better, higher vibration. Everything. Just like what the Bible talks about with how they would eat. A lot of reason why they didn't want to eat pork was because pork can have parasites. It's one that is known that can have parasites. Just like some fish, right? It's just in nature, we know that some things have parasites. And in that area that the Bible was written, they had more pigs than a lot of other things around. They had goats, but that is one thing that is like abundant, is easy to breed also, is pigs. And instead of like cattle, like here in America, so if you think about that on why certain meat was what they would eat, or some that would be told by God not to eat, even if everything that God created was good for us and we're supposed to have dominion over all beasts and fowl and, in the air, the birds, obviously, and everything, except for each other. We don't have dominion over each other. We can't control each other. That's one thing we don't have dominion over. Only God has dominion over all. So think about these things, eating healthy, having herbal medicine, instead of when you start feeling like you're run down and you've been not sleeping enough or this or that, you're overstressed, why don't you start having teas at night or melatonin or other things to help relax at night, and then during the day have less caffeine, that is something that is going to make your heart rate skyrocket, or have things with a lot of sugar that will cause a lot of blood sugar imbalances. If you keep your blood sugar balanced with a decent amount of protein, something, even when you're not super hungry, to have something like nuts as a protein, and it's a good fat that can satiate any kind of hunger or anything, or blood sugar, keep your blood sugar even without a bunch of sugars on top of that. And it's not like other carb things that will just be counterintuitive. Otherwise, focus on gut health. So lots of herbal teas for detoxing, drinking lots of water. I even have been increasing my water. I live in California now, and I used to live in Washington State, where I had water all the time, and my skin, everything was more moist. Here, it's like the desert to me. It's a complete opposite. So I have seen a major changes in my body living here, and how I've had to adjust to this climate compared to living in Washington State. It's still West Coast, and I am only 16 hours from where I was living before. I drove here from there in this same car. It's far, but not that far. If you have enough money and the means, you can go anywhere. You're not trapped anywhere in this country. If you are not a criminal and you're not on the run or something, basically, and you have no beef with other people in wherever these other states are, you are free to go there. Try to start a new life somewhere else, maybe, if there's another opportunity. Don't feel that your surroundings, your situation, your whatever that you were born into, the cards that you were given, are the only cards that are available. You can throw away those cards you think and come up with new ones. Plan that out with God. Say, hey, God, I appreciate that you kept me alive and everything up to this point, and I'm sorry that I'm asking for more. But with God loving you and knowing in your heart if you deserve more, to have more abundance, and if that is something that you can actually give back too, because whatever you are given from God, you're supposed to share with others as well. It's not just for yourself. That's what people don't think about. We think of ourselves just because we came into this world alone, we're gonna die alone, in the sense of like we are in the conscious sense alone. But God is always there, and his angels, even the fallen, are everywhere in this matrix.